Okay, we are live, yes. Well, we have a few more tweets here today to be getting through, of course. This is a show where we poke a little bit of fun at some of the delusional ramblings of our fellow Arsenal fans, that part of the fan base that we love to hate so much, that have created so much angst for us, that create this impression amongst the general public that we're all a bunch of weirdos, zesty, crazy people completely obsessed with Arteta and how amazing the club is, and we think that absolutely everything that's done is pure perfection and a masterpiece of understated genius by Arteta and his management. Yes, those people. Those people are the ones that post up these incredible word warblings. And we have our first one here. We do have our first one here. Promise at the Sprachen. Is he sort of German? Do you know he's Dutch? He's got a picture of Dennis Bergkamp there. This is the thing, like these guys, it's one thing if they've got a picture of Odegaard, but when they got a picture of Dennis Bergkamp or Thierry Henry, it's like, that was a standard, and now you're promulgating a different standard. Do you not see there's kind of a juxtaposition there? Probably not, because of course they say the things they do, so why would they have the perception to be able to see these things? Anyway, number 3. What is 3? Dry in German. So I think he might be German or Dutch. Anyway, Nummer 3. Tweeten. I've realised that football fans think playing well is just attacking well. When Saliba, Gabriel, Hincapi, Timber, Calafiori, Rice, Mosquera are breaking their backs to win us games on the defensive end, is it not football they were playing and therefore playing well? Okay, no one's doubted that we play well defensively. The critique of Arsenal is not about their defensive capabilities. So this tweet that Promise has put in is in response to something AFC Lucy has said here. The original tweet from Lucy being very accurately, in my opinion as well, a very salient tweet saying, it's such a strange season because we're truly playing quite awful in every game, but our record in every competition is impeccable. And this is the weird paradox that we find ourselves in as Arsenal fans who have a bit of ability to understand and watch the game beyond zoning out and just absorbing randomly what happens here and there. If you actually sit and watch the games, yes, you can understand, as Promise has alluded to, that we're a defensively very organised team, hence the defensive record. However, this doth not mean that the team is playing well overall, and this is the thing that Promise doesn't seem to quite grasp. It's such a strange season because we've got all these high goal scoring records, yet by game to game, especially this year as well, especially this calendar year, by game to game, it's so boring. Like, if you think back over the course of this season, which games have you truly enjoyed? Like, try to pick out some standout games in the league. You can in the Champions League, Atleti, Bayern. There's another game I'm forgetting. Maybe also could include the Inter game. So if I think back on the league though, Spurs, Leeds, in fact those two teams we've scored a fifth of our total goals against both Spurs and Leeds. I think if there's another team you factor in, it makes it like a quarter of the total goals. So that total goals record that we've got, which is standing at 100 or 101 now, is slightly skewed by the fact that 25 of those goals, a quarter of those goals, came against 3 teams. I can't remember who the third team is, sorry. But even if we take the third team out, a fifth of those goals have been scored most definitely just against Leeds and Spurs, who hopefully will be getting relegated. Please, Spurs, finish the job and relegate yourselves. But Lucy makes a fine point here, and it's something that doesn't really get discussed more, and it's something that needs to be looked into in terms of sustainability, because what we're seeing at the moment, there's a huge question mark over how sustainable this style of play is. Defensive play that we have, cowardly play that we have. Again, we saw it to a degree against Mansfield, a team battling League One relegation, and we're supposedly the greatest squad in Europe with the greatest manager in the world, 4th highest paid manager in the world, by the way, and we can't score more than 2 goals against Mansfield, which irks me individually because I did my first bet of 2026. I don't really gamble anymore, it's a waste of time. And again, I wasted my time. I did 4 selections. 3 came in. Guess which team let me down? All I needed was for Arsenal Mansfield to have more than 4 goals in it. We couldn't even manage to score 3 ourselves, let alone 4, let alone more than 4. I thought it might be 4-0 by half time. I'm still old school thinking, obviously. Yeah, this is the new school Arsenal. We don't school teams ourselves 4-0 by half time if they're a team like Mansfield. No. We are here to entertain. We are here to entertain from the perspective of letting these little teams, respectfully to Mansfield, letting these smaller teams have their way with us far too much. See our defence yesterday? By the way, Promise, did that defence look so good? Was that playing well yesterday? No, I don't think so. But Lucy makes a point, because it is strange how we have been playing like this and yet our statistics are so high. It's kind of crazy. It is kind of crazy, but let's see if it can bring us, let's see if it brings success. I mean, we've been saying for a while it's going to be unsustainable, but we sustained it, to be fair. We have sustained it. So crunch time now, 2 months left. Everyone's nearly dead. Can we sustain it to the end? It's basically a race against time to win a title before everybody drops dead. On to tweet number 2. Nummer 2 auf Deutsch. Pramod. I think it's this one I wanted to do, or was it the other one? Hang on, let me just check. One second. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one, and then we got this guy called Rob, another Rob, who is number 1. We will save him. Go away. There we go. Whoops. You didn't see that. Okay, number 2, Pramod. He says, presume it's a he. He's got Miles Lewis Skelly meditating on the ground in his avatar, and he says, Arsenal have the best squad. Arsenal having the best squad is a tactic peddled by the media to apply more pressure. Man City always had the best squad to begin with, and added Gay and Semenyo mid-season. Arsenal having the best squad is a tactic peddled by the media. No, Arsenal having the best squad is what we've heard for about 2 years now. In fact, no. Let me rewind that. What we've heard since August, since the summer window, we've got the best squad in Europe with the greatest manager in the world. So that's not a media tactic. If anything, media has questioned that here and there, has questioned our capabilities here and there. I mean, these fans will talk a lot about how the media puts, how the media has been kind of like, unfair towards us. So I don't know. I see like he's trying to kind of like, he's trying to shift the blame, basically. He's trying to say that this is the media. So if we fail this season, it's because the media put too much pressure on the team. And again, the second sort of, the caveat of why I don't like this tweet is this apply pressure thing. Oh, we shouldn't apply pressure on the players. We shouldn't apply pressure on the players. They might cry. They might break down. They might have some sort of like existential crisis at home and not be able to leave. They might not be able to leave the house for match day. Nobody will turn up against Everton. This is just like soft mentality, but it's very modern mentality, isn't it? Like, it's just like, we can't put more pressure on the players. These guys are paid like 200 to 300k a week to deal with pressure. That's one of the main reasons they're paid. They're not just paid because they're allegedly skillful, talented, effective individual players and work together as a team effectively. They're also paid to handle media pressure, to handle fan pressure, to be able to walk out onto a pitch in front of 80,000 people and handle that pressure away from home or at home when the crowd gets nervous. That is what they are paid so much money to do. So this idea that we shouldn't be putting more pressure on them is just fucking ludicrous, and it's more victim mentality. Bro, it is victim mentality. Stop being a victim. 1,786 followers. Thankfully, that's not too many people to absorb this kind of bullshit, because we don't need more people becoming victims. We don't need a fan base to grow and metastasize into a bloody victimhood group, which needs safe spaces to survive. Bullshit. Fuck you. Not having this victim mentality. Can we please retain some semblance of old school true grit? The answer seems to be fucking no at the moment, because there's more and more of these little idiots saying this stupid shit, and it grinds my gears, which is what you need to deal with some of these frigging people when you speak to them. Seriously, plenty of it. So, without further ado, On to, so far, what I found today, and it's only like 10 to 2, but we're doing this now in the afternoon. On to another Rob, obviously not as accomplished as myself, obviously not as cognitively outstanding and irrepressibly capable as myself. This guy has come in at number one, nummer eins. Eins. Ja, wollen Groppen Führer, Rob Ross at Guna, 1-4-5. He has said, BBC stated, Eze Stunner spares Arsenal from Mansfield upset. There always has to be a tone of negativity. Yeah, because if the BBC didn't write that, there would be no negativity at all. Fuck the fact that Mansfield came forward at will, opened up our defence at will sometimes. There always has to be a tone of negativity from the press. That's where it's come from. That's where all the negative come from, the press. I mean, to be honest with you, that BBC headline, if that is actual quote by him, by the way, look at this. This guy's an Arsenal season ticket holder. If this is actually a quote from the BBC, they've actually gone easy on us. Eze Stunner spares Arsenal from Mansfield upset. That's very kind of matter of fact. That's very kind of like to the point and not really going in on us more like they could have done, because that was a horrendous performance. There always has to be a tone of negativity. Well, yes, might there be? I mean, you could spend a lot of time talking negatively about that game. I don't understand why the fact that they're posted like this is surprising to him almost. It's like, why would there be a tone of negativity? Why would you do that, BBC? Why would you do that? Why would you lie like that? Why would you try to form people's opinion? Why would you try to mould the public opinion like that? No. BBC isn't trying to mould the public opinion. They're just telling it how it is for once. That was a horrendous performance. That's the tone of negativity. The team set the tone of negativity with their shit performance. Salmon's or Mascara's, that incident, that mistake between the two of them, nobody would care that much if we were already 3-0 up or even 2-0 up. It was like 40 minutes that happened. That's the point. If they'd have been 2-3-0 up at the time, it's a little mistake, but it didn't matter as much, but it was a fucking equaliser because we've been so shit. That's the negativity, the fact that we were fucking dog shit with our, 9 changes, but greatest squad in Europe. How can the greatest squad in Europe struggle so much against Mansfield fucking town? That's the negativity, not the fact that the BBC writes, Eze Stunner spares our blushes. Fuck off. It's true. How about talk about the horrendous nature of our team's performance? Is that too much? Of course it's too much, because these people like him don't dare to criticise the team and the manager, because again it goes back to the whole kind of like, you can't put pressure on them. Everything has to be positive, unicorns, fairy tales, rainbows, beautiful dewy grasses in the morning as the sun rises over a blue sky. That's what it has to be, because if we don't have that, apparently according to these people, our players are so psychologically weak, because that's the subtext of what these people are saying. You can't put pressure on the players because we secretly and inside believe that they are too weak mentally to be able to cope with the pressure, because otherwise why wouldn't they be saying that? If there wasn't fear of us wilting under pressure, these people wouldn't be saying that. They wouldn't care. But because they know that this team is fucking shitting themselves, they have to say these things. Not that they matter, not that they even... Look, if Arsenal have anything about them, they tell the players not to look at this stuff. So whether they're defended or not is another thing. And also that just sort of negates the whole idea that like people need to be nice to them on social media if they don't even look at social media anyway. I mean, if I was a player, I've said this many times before, if I was a player, why would I be on social media? I've got so many other things I could be doing with my life. If I'm earning 100+ K a week, why do I need to come on social media? You would never need to do this. If I was a multimillionaire, I would not need to come on X and go through tweets and react to tweets and all that kind of stuff. So, it's just a continuation of the depressing, delusional nonsense, isn't it? Tone of negativity. You can never be negative around the players because they might cry and they might fall apart like Elijah from the Unbreakable movie, which we basically have a squad of Elijahs anyway. You just sort of look at them and they collapse to the ground and die at your feet. That's where we're at the moment. Like, back in the day, you'd be standing in the tunnel next to Arsenal. There'd be a bunch of 6-foot brutes who are going to knock you out if you ain't careful. We had red cards all the time, to be fair, in that respect. But still, we're a bunch of brutes and bullies. And people think we are now, but we're not. From corners, maybe, but you look out on the field in open play, how many times we're diving around. You want to say that we're bullies? You really think we're physical bullies in open play? Corners, okay, I give you that, but from open play, really, we're physical bullies? But there always has to be a tone of negativity. Maybe I'm being too negative. We are through to the quarterfinals. We're going to get a tough draw, whoever we play. We just got to hope it's at home. Let's just hope we get a home draw. And on that positive note, on that highly positive note, because we could be one game away from Wembley. We're one game away from Wembley. We're going to Wembley in 2 weeks' time. There's lots to be happy about. So I'm not going to have a tone of negativity because I don't want to do anything to ruin this push for an inevitable quadruple. Peace.